Committee reports, policy and curriculum.
At the Policy and Curriculum Committee, we had a reading update. We had several teachers join us at AD to talk to us regarding the reading pilot, which is happening regarding to 5th grade. And then after discussion, our committee recommended moving forward with the purchase, and that's coming to a board vote this evening. We also had an update on the STEM program and the modules that are happening for our students. And we discussed how the computers and the programs that are, for the programs that are currently being used, we need to look at updates for those. We also started to get a look at the college and career courses that we offer, and just an update that they're looking at each of the, I believe it was 6 areas, Kathy, and that we'll get more information, just beginning some conversations regarding that and where we went ahead. And then as a 4K update, just that we're going to have another registration date, and we continue to move forward with that, looking at curriculum and things such as that. And then the policy updates that were referenced came through. We talked about open enrollment and projections and seat availability for 15-16 school year. And then we discussed the employee handbook and reviewing that, and talking about having, I'm going to have some employees work together to give us some input and make recommendations for our handbook updates. Anything else anyone wants to add?
Just to add the policy updates on there, I'd like something to mention the fact that I brought up under the code of conduct that this is a recommendation for a board member. This is nothing that a board member is bound by. The only binding a board member for this is the state statutes and the Constitution of the United States and the state of Wisconsin. So everything else other than that is a recommendation to a board member. So I think we need to have a wording somewhere here that says this is a recommendation, but I'd like something to be in this minutes of yours that state that I brought this up and that this is a recommended policy for a new board member to know what their norm would be. Still object to the phrase that think in terms of children first. For the state statute, every board member should be thinking in terms of the constituents and the district first. It's what's best for the district, not necessarily what's best for students and our taxpayers and our parents. It's what's best for the district. Sometimes those things conflict. I think by adding a statement that says, think in terms of children first, I think that is contrary to what the person was elected to do, which was make a conscious effort to bring multiple facets together and come up with a solution. But as to what we're on right now, the Policy and Curriculum Committee meetings, I'd like something under policy updates to reflect that Jensen brought up objections to the code of conduct for school board members. And if we want to clarify a few things under that, that would be fine too.
Okay, we'll make sure those are added. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Any other questions? Next, we have personnel and finance. Dan.
P&F is brought to order at 7:37 on January 12th. Review the monthly budget and check ledger. Everything's looking fine, and as Don said before, we're at what, 33%?
Yes.
So we're looking good monetary-wise for this year. Our fiscal year is doing real well. We had preliminary discussion for the 2015-16 budget, and regarding preliminary discussion on salary adjustments and or starting salary modifications. And we discussed extracurricular pay schedule, which is, I believe, coming tonight for discussion, action on it. And other than that, I brought up a issue of putting on a future P&F, the possibility of a policy discussing fund balance, in which a fund balance that exceeds a certain percentage, I threw up number 40, would be going back to taxpayers. It was brought up by Doug and by Tom that possibility of moving some of that into, what would that be considered? Restricted fund balance? Assigned fund balance, they also know. So moving some into assigned fund balance, I agree with that. Obviously, we have to have an assigned fund balance to take care of roofs and long-term projects, so we have to find an happy medium. But I think our fund balance increasing every year, we need to come up with a policy that states exactly what we cannot exceed, therefore what should go back to taxpayers once we do. And other than that, we discussed also briefly putting on a future agenda for discussing videotaping the meetings, and that will be coming next month for discussion. Question, anyone? Statements, additions?
I'll just add that before the discussion about the videotaping, we also discussed looking at adding some sort of advisory panel for the teachers. That kind of
Oh, yes.
what Doug talked about. I think we're looking at adding both those items to next month's
Yes.
committee meeting to the applicable.
That's correct. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Lenny, can you show that on there? We discussed adding an advisory panel to give teachers a voice in district operations. Now that, and as Tom's phrased, now that there is no longer a union elected overseeing committee, there's no direct action in that now, so Tom's suggestion was come up with a teacher personnel panel to add input to the district. And that'll be coming for discussion at next month's PNF.
Also, the video, we did get a legal opinion on that from our lawyers who don't really have a problem with that, so that'll be discussed more. We have to have technology too, if we have to both meet on that. Technology.
Don't see why not.
So let's see what.
Can you see that on PNF?
Anything else